and I know there's the whole every team gets a Wednesday night, and every team's got to have a Friday, Saturday back to back, and a Saturday, Sunday back to back, and all that sort of thing. But
it's weird that 2 weeks ago the teams only played 16 compared to the most.
Yeah,
it's like Geelong's played 19.
Exactly. You'd think they'd have it fairly close at this stage of the season.
4 game disparity.
Yeah,
it's a long way.
Oh, jeez, tunnels. Yeah, it might be one of those quirks they fix next year, maybe. Today, yeah, I'm cold, I'm not having a headache, I'm just, yeah.
Just sit there and watch Cameron Smith. You saw his email, looked it up half an hour before.
Yeah. We got it right. Quick trip with the coaches. Trump. Huh? Trump. Oh, sweat, man.
ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Saturday Night Basketball here at the Mars Minor Zone, this special Indigenous round of the NBL1. Both the Hatomo home finals and the Selkirk Ballarat Blast playing home tonight, taking on Waverley. It is round 14 of the NBL1, and the girls had a fantastic win last week over Hobart on Saturday night. They're now ready to take on a strong outfit in Waverley. Would you please put your hands together and make them welcome the Waverley team, led out by number 1, Sydney Callahan. Number 5, Leona Bishop. Number 6, Samantha Donald. Number 8, it's Neadu Locke. Number 9, the captain, Kelly Bowen. Number 11, it's Jess Bargate. Number 18, Harley Ernst. Number 22, Michaela Miller. Number 23, Renee Bornicki. And number 24, Lisa Ewan. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we also please welcome their coaching staff, their head coach, Elias Polianis, and their assistants, Adam Sapinski and Brendan Gordon. Now, ladies and gentlemen, would you please give it up for your Selkirk Ballarat Rush, led out by number 1 for the Ballarat Times News Group, it's Shanice Jenkins. Number 2, the Golden Stone, Laura Taylor. Number 3, Georgia Apple, the J.K. Bresnell. Number 9, the Selkirk, it's Lucy Cochran. Number 17, for Love Life Fitness, Annie Cohen. Number 20, for Brittany, it's Elisa Hackman. Number 21, for the Rover, Claire Flower. Number 24, Ballarat and the Self-Story, Claire Costello. And number 34, for the College Ballarat, it's Troy Bird. They're coached tonight by Eric Hayes and his assistant, Megan Collins. Ladies and gentlemen, we also please welcome to tonight's game referees Todd Spain, Kyra Jacobson, and Josh Dugan. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned before, it is a special Indigenous round 14 in NBL1, and Ballarat Basketball wish to acknowledge the presence of this band, the Waverley people on the great Coolwood Nation, and their elders both past, present, and emerging. We acknowledge and respect their Indigenous culture and the contribution they make to the life of this community and this region as a whole. Ladies and gentlemen, I would now ask you to be upstanding and remove your hats for the Australian national anthem. Tonight, it is sung by Nina Gomez.
Yeah, everything's running.
Let's double check. It's a big deal.
Yeah, that was. Saw that last night. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's game is proudly brought to you by Thrifty, and a big thanks to Adrian and Akira Willingham, and also Brenton and Lee.
Am I hearing everything? I'm not.
For their great support this season. Also, a big thanks to Karen.
Now. Test. Welcome to the Ballarat Minor Dome on a cold and windy and wet July evening here. My name's Jared Prosser and we're here for the first leg of our NBL1 doubleheader between the Ballarat Rush and the Waverley Falcons. Travis Hewish, good evening.
Good evening, Jared.
Back from the Magoos for a week?
The Magoos, what does that mean?
Oh, we had you out in the reserves finding some form for last week's game, apparently.
Oh, really? Yes, okay. I was at the snow. I was on holidays, enjoying my school holidays as a teacher.
Yeah, my vitriol purely comes from the fact that I wanted to be at the snow. So, Trav, we should get back to the ranch a little bit. The Falcons coming into this game at 7 and 9, 10th on the ladder against the Rush at 13th. But at 7 and 9, they have played 2 games less than the Rush. They are still a chance, albeit a lot of results need to go their way, at making the 8.
Oh, everything has to play out exactly the way they need it. I mean, essentially, the Waverley need to lose the next 4 games for them to have any chance. Albury will need to lose as well in the next couple of games. But at the end of the day, the Rush can only do what they can control, and what they can control is what they do on the floor tonight, and get the result that they need, and so be it if everything else happens the way that it needs to. But yeah, 2 very alike teams, Jared. 2 very alike teams. 2 teams dominant in the defensive end. Waverley, as much as they are one of the worst teams in the league for scoring, exactly the same. So it's going to be a test to see whose style steps up today. Just a quick shout out, Jared. It's Indigenous round, as everyone probably knows. Our Ballarat Rush and Miners uniforms were designed by one Leighton Priest from St Patrick's College. So a shout out to him. He's done a wonderful job. I reckon they're fantastic uniforms and a really good weekend in Indigenous round.
Yeah, we've had some good special edition uniforms this season for for Naidoc Week, the Aboriginal round and Indigenous round, and we've also had the city uniforms earlier in July and June. So we see Waverley out on the floor ready to go. Tegan Cunningham, Sam Donalds, Kelly Bowen, Carly Ernst and Renee McCritchie starting for them. Ballarat going with their usual five: Joy Burke, Shanice Jenkins, Laura Taylor, Lucy Cochran and leading scorer Olivia Hackman. So just about underway here as the bell sounds in the background. And we are off. Here's Donald. And turns and shoots. Oh, strong rebound, McCritchie. Finds Donald wide open. She can't make it. Chases it down again, though. Well done, Sam Donald. Gives the team a little bit more time to create something. Here's Bowen. Drives. Good defense from Jenkins. Forces a rush shot. Taylor tidies up and sends Ballarat on their way. Hackman, Bowen facing her. There's a pet play of the rush, the slip screen from Joy Burke. She can't finish on that occasion.
Well, it'll certainly work if they double the pick. So if they attack that hard, double the pick, the slip's going to be there. Joy's just got to finish off stronger than that.
Here's Bowen. Finds Cunningham. She launches. A little bit off balance with that shot, fell short. Shanice Jenkins, top of the key. Burke looking for Hackman backdoor, but nothing going. Inside 10 on the shot clock. Cochran not really sure what to do. Well, Burke's got outstanding position. Hackman decides to, well, fade away and the shot falls well short. Coach Hayes frustrated with that position on the sideline, and so he should be.
Yeah, just sat with Joy on the elbow for just too long. Just made a dead play. Hackman had to just throw something up.
It's Cunningham again. Good matchup this one, Cunningham and Taylor. Fritschke. Oh, over the head with the circus shot to get the game underway here. 2-0 Waverley.
I haven't seen someone just throw the ball directly over the head before, Jared, and I've watched thousands a game.
Outside of maybe under 10s training, that's about it. Burke finds Cochran low, draws the foul. She'll go to the line for two. Kelly Bowen.
Yeah, I thought the rush missed that. I mean, again, Waverley have doubled that pick out on the wing. So they've doubled the on-ball screen, and Cochran's just dove to the rim really hard. But Joy was too busy trying to reverse the ball and didn't look for it. She finally saw it when everyone screamed at her. It was just lucky enough that Cochran had some good hands.
Yeah, sometimes you need to break the play if you see something there. It's Cochran unable to make the first. Finishes the back end and gets the rush on the board. Extended pressure here from Ballarat. Oh, and it works. Cochran with the steal. Jenkins, Hackman wide open for three. That's short as well.
No.
Oh, long pass. Kritschke blows the layup. Oh, we won't see that again. Could not have been more open. Here's Burke down low. Lovely little move. Left hand baby. It's an old-fashioned post play, that one, Trav.
Yeah, just using her body and strength and size.
Oh, Kritschke, how does she get that open right under the key?
That's unacceptable defense by Ballarat. 2 possessions in a row.
Absolutely lost her there. She might have missed one layup. She's not going to miss 2 in a row. Here's Taylor, catch and shoot three.
That screen by
short.
Cochran, fantastic.
Cunningham goes the other way. Oh, Bowen throws some handles. McCritchie against the much taller Cochran. That's a lovely move, but leaves it short. Lucy Cochran. Oh, McCritchie stays with it. Eventually, Shanice Jenkins comes up with the ball from the scrum. And Burke, who could have learned a language, she was alone for that long, drops in the 2 and gives Ballarat their first lead. 5-4, a little over 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. Here's Donald. Ernst. Drives past Taylor but can't finish. McCritchie again on the offensive rebounds. And another steal to Lucy Cochran. Jenkins leads a 3-on-1 fast break. Oh, Jenkins may have travelled there. She lost the ball, eventually feeds Cochran for 2.
She had a right little smile on her face there too. I thought she took 3 steps, but hey, ref didn't call it, so she didn't travel.
Donald, look, oh, straight past. Gets the switch onto the big. Far too quick for Joy Burke, who's forced to give up the foul. 7-4 here, around halfway through the first quarter, Ballarat leading. Sam Donald, the Waverley Falcons point guard, makes the first. Not a high-scoring player, but a very, very good distributor of the basketball. Misses the second. Oh, Cunningham, quick hands. Snuck in behind Burke to get the steal. Cunningham. Again, that's almost sort of squares away. Doesn't quite square away to the basket properly when she shoots that shot, but it's an effective shot. She shoots over 30% from 3. Oh, Krichke, and another steal for her. There's Burke with poor handles. And she can shoot. Oh, goes past Joy Burke. Lovely little floater. Eventually rattles in for 2.
Nice, strong, confident move from the perimeter for the big girl. It's fantastic to see. I'm loving the way the game's shaping now, where our bigs can play all over the floor.
Yeah, positionless basketball. It's not what you and I grew up with. But it's it makes for a much, much better spectacle. Jenkins absolutely wide open. Shoots over Cunningham. That's long. Cunningham didn't follow though. Jenkins did, and she's rewarded with 2 points.
Yeah, poor box out by Cunningham. She decided to go for the long, cheap 2, and the ball just rebounded straight to Jenkins. She made up for it with a nice move there off that curl cut. Oh, sorry, off the curl screen.
And we're tied at 9. Pass Hackman. Cochran, oh, not quite able to keep that ball under control. And a poor pass into Burke. Here's Cunningham. Finds McCritchie. Jenkins read it well. Held up the play. Oh, great pass. And Bowen can't drop that 3. And Jenkins, shortest player on the floor, comes up with the rebound. Drives straight at Sam Donald. Draws the foul and drops the 2. Strong drive on the left from Shanice Jenkins.
Yeah, we've said it before. She's got a wonderful ability to finish around the ring through contact. With her size and her body size,
Low center of gravity.
She's just got some wonderful strength and some wonderful ability to finish around the rim.
So 4 points, 3 boards, 3 assists and a steal already for Jenkins. Coming off a strong game against Hobart last week in the 8-point win that the Rush had with 24-11 and 4 steals. Sam Donald blatantly trying to draw the foul, but Taylor runs away from her. There's Ernst.
That's one play, you don't leave.
Carly Ernst, she might be 6'5", 6'6", but she is a gunner from the outside.
Interesting move to go into the zone there by the Rush. Particularly when you've got a couple of shooters from Waverley who can knock that down.
That's a lovely pass from Bowen to McCritchie.
Poor defensive transition, Jared.
Jenkins was left on her own there, left on an island. Oh, fine pass from Jenkins. Claire Blower snuck into space and finishes the play.
I haven't seen much defense so far this quarter. It's
14 apiece. It's
getting some easy looks. Players not looking, players just ball watching.
Bowen pulls up. Short with the elbow J, and Olivia Hackman with the rebound. Blower again gets early position. Who's that on McCritchie?
she's got to get that ball.
Oh, that's a big screen for Blower there. Taylor wide open. Ooh, can't make the three. And Tegan Cunningham turns and goes. Donald has to create. There's Ernst again. Jenkins.
Yeah, Ernst's eyes have lit up as soon as the rush have gone into this zone. She's going, yep, no worries. I've got this. I'm going to bang him down. She's looking confident. It'll be interesting to see if the rush stay in this zone for much longer.
It's a nice high release she's got too. If she's got a guard out on her, she can just shoot straight over the top. So we see Georgia Raymore into the...
They got both teams in the zone.
Hackman wide open. Amor finds her. Oh, that's long. 2 short shots and one that's made up for a little bit too much.
Ballarat now none for 5 from the 3, so that's why Waverley are in the 3 in that zone.
And it pulls up over Jenkins. That's long as well. Cochrane. Ooh. Oops. Oh, Jenkins almost throws it away. A couple of lazy passes there. Cochrane to Jenkins, Jenkins to Hackman. Neither of them put the teammate in a good position. Here's Claire Blower, high low to Cochrane. Can't finish the play. Well set up from Ballarat. We're still tied at 14. There's Tegan Cunningham. Drops the 2, foot on the line, but absolutely wide open.
Yeah, another one you're not ill-advised to be leaving open.
Good hands from Cunningham. Donald finds her now. She'll pull up against Amor. Rattles out. Shanice Jenkins. Another rebound for her. That's 4 on a night to go with 4 assists. Oh, Sam Donald says that came off her hand. Referees have called it as a football. Constable checks into the game for the first time for Ballarat. We see Lisa Ewan and Michaela Miller onto the floor for the Falcons. Amor, oh, that's sweet. Brought rain with that arc, but that's a beautiful shot from Amor.
Shot that with a lot of confidence.
That's one thing she's not short of.
No, she shot that with a lot of confidence. That'll give her a lot of confidence as well when you hit your first shot.
Highgate unable to hit there, the Kiwi international. Oh, great pass, Jenkins to Amor.
Oh, look at it.
Amor pulls up again. 2 for 2.
Amazing what happens to your touch and your confidence and your ability to put the ball in the hole when you bang your very first one you put up.
2 beautiful looking shots, great arc. Ewan can't answer. And that finishes quarter number 1. And the Rush, they lead 20-16 over the visiting Waverley Falcons. Shanice Jenkins, Travis, she's started hot. 5 points, 5 assists, 4 boards.
She's been fantastic. She's been absolutely fantastic. Her strength, I mean, we said it just before, her strength to finish around the rim has just been fantastic. And her strength with the ball in her hand to make some plays. What did you say? She said got five assists. With her strength and ability to be able to play through the contact, play through defense, find passes, find the open man, she's been fantastic.
And we talk about the littlest player on the floor taking it in amongst the trees. The perfect opposite to that for Waverley. 6'5", 6'6" centre. Carly Ernst, 5 points, 2 assists, 3 steals, no rebounds. She's living her life on the outside.
Yeah, just living out on the perimeter. But I mean, there hasn't been, Ballarat have shot, apart from the poor 3-point shooting, they're now 2 for 7 at 29%. Ballarat has shot pretty well, they're 50%. So there hasn't been a lot of opportunities for her to get those easy defensive boards. She's not going to get many offensive. Interesting. I can't off the top of my head know her stats from offensive rebounding. It'd be interesting to know if she does average a few.
Carly Ernst. Yeah, less than 1. About 7.5 boards per game, but 0.7 offensive rebounds.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you were saying before. She's that stretch 5 player, wants to play on the perimeter, doesn't sort of get around the keyway. So, but that works her out because Cunningham does want to. So she wants to get in there and get in and dirty and do the grind work. Some interesting stats, Jared, across the board. So you got Ballarat winning the field goal percentage at the moment. They're shooting 50%, Waverley at 32%. Both teams shooting pretty poorly from the three-point line at the moment. You got 25% at 1 for 4 for Waverley and 29% 2 for 7. Both teams not been able to get to the line, but it's been all sort of, it's all been mid-range and outside Jays at the moment. So 2 for 3 for the Ballarat and 1 for 2. And the rebound count's pretty close. Ballarat leading at 13-11, and Ballarat is also got 4 turnovers to Waverley's 2.
So we're underway here in quarter number 2. Oh, lovely pass from Cochrane to Burke. Easy 2 for Ballarat again. Here's Ewan. Veteran now, into her mid-30s. Burke right up on Ernst this time. Oh. Michaela Miller wide open, decided to pass rather than take the layup, and Cochrane too tall to get that pass through. 10 seconds on the shot clock. As Ewan looks to inbound. Oh, Joy Burke read that well. Constable sets Jenkins on her way. She draws the foul, hits the 2. There's what you were saying, Trav, that ability to finish in traffic.
Yeah, being able to contort her body around to try and make the contact, fight in and hit the chest of Ernst there, who is a shot blocker, and make her have to lean over it to try and get that. It's just wonderful skill by Jenkins.
Yeah, top 10 shot blocker in the league, Carly Ernst. Very modern 5, shot blocking, shooting 3s.
3 and D.
Ballarat have stretched it out to 9 points here as Cunningham can't hit. The ball falls to Michaela Miller. And Waverley get another go. Amor's just not big enough there. Tegan Cunningham, too big, too strong.
Yeah, she was in the key a long time. She shot that 3. She shot that 3 ball. The rebound coming in from Miller. Miller dribbles it out, passes it to Ernst. Ernst decides to pass it. Cunningham was sitting in the keyway that whole time. Coach Hayes definitely has an argument there for how long in the key. But not much more can do there when you throw the ball up in Cunningham's size.
No, it wasn't the smartest foul to give away though. She's not going to, unless you take the arms, you're not going to affect that shot. Tegan Cunningham, very big, very strong. WAFL footballer for the Demons.
Well, she's had a wonderful career as a sportsman.
Younger sister Caitlin plays WNBL as well. Of course, Tegan, WNBL champ with the Rangers 6 or 7 years ago now. Here she is again. Jenkins, early double. Doesn't make a difference. Just towers above Jenkins and Amor. Easy 2. And that brings the lead back to 4. Ballarat had it out to 9 less than a minute ago, Trav. Constable finds Cochrane low.
Oh, that's a good pass by Cochrane.
Lovely pass from Jenkins too. Cochrane can't hit every part of the rim.
You'll buy that offense, Coach Hayes, for the rush. That was fantastic ball movement, good passing.
Cunningham can't finish that drive, but another offensive rebound. So Michaela Miller drops in the 3. 4th in the league in offensive rebounding, this Falcons side. Tick under 13 a game.
Yeah, it's a good call, Jared. They're killing them on the O boards. That's 6 now, and they've scored from 5 of them, so.
Ewan slipped right in on Burke there. Cochrane, short J, rattles it home. Pushes that lead out to 3, around 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. And the rush lead 27-24. Bygate decides not to take that 3. Cochrane laying way back off Jess Bygate, daring her to take the 3.
Yeah, poor execution of the pass though. Cunningham has a wonderful matchup there. If Amore's going to play Cunningham in the post, she's going to eat that all night. So they need to find a good angle, get it out to the foul line extent and pass that down instead of trying to make the pass from high, particularly if you're not going to get owned from the 3. And Cochrane sits down in the post down there in the keyway, clogging it up.
About 4 inches height between them, or Cochrane left that a little bit behind Burke. And Bygate with the block from behind. Here's Ernst. Oh, she'll pull up here. Bang. Carly Ernst, second 3 on the evening. And ties it up here at 27. Georgia Raymore. Yeah, they're stepping right out on her now after those early 3s. Here's Hackman. Swish for 3 of her own.
3s are starting to come down now.
Ernst, oh, there's one short. Burke stepped through a little late. Amor lost the ball. Cunningham did enough to keep it alive. Ernst, oh, lovely move. Just step back, drew Cochrane. And Jess Bygate cuts through the top of the key for the easy 2. That space was well set up there by Ernst. Just drew Cochrane out and gave her teammate the space. Important
timeout by Hayes there. You called it before, Jared. They had a 9-point lead and they've blown it out now, and it's only a 1-point lead. Just on the back of Cunningham having a way, Ernst hitting that big 3. That play just there by Bygate with a nice cut to the rim. Some good defensive stops at the other end. It's a much needed timeout just to stem the tide and just settle them down a little bit.
5th assist for Ernst. She's if you're getting 5 assists a half out of your centre, you've got to be happy with the way the ball's moving around, Trav. 3 steals for her as well, 8 points.
Yeah, they're going to need to look to try and figure out a way to stop her, because if Burke just can't defend her from the perimeter, and Ernst is going to play from that. But Ernst has already shown she's got the handles there to play. So with that beautiful 3 she just hit before, that was ball handling. So she handled that. Burke just bit it. She just did a step back 3.
Cochrane likewise not quite quick enough to go with her either.
No, I'd almost be content by putting someone like Laura Taylor on her and defending, and if she ends up in the post, which I don't think she's going to, you might have to match up then. But
Hackman drives, can't finish. Burke puts it straight back up. Gives Ballarat a 3-point lead. Of course, the other defensive issue for Coach Hayes is what does he do with Cunningham? He's taking a break at the moment, but when she comes back on, sort of a 2-3 type player, but so strong in a post, especially when she's matched up with one of these diminutive Ballarat guards.
I think I'm assuming that the play here is that the strategy here is to play the zone.
There's Ernst, bang, another 3 for her.
And that's why they're in the zone, because they just don't match up very well against their bigs, the Rush's bigs. So the strategy there to play in the zone just as a team defensive situation.
Amor hits the floater, but it's after the whistle. Michaela Miller will get the blocking call. Tied at 32, around 5.5 to go in the first half here at the Minor Dome. Cunningham and Makritsky checking back in. Jess Bygate and Michaela Miller will take a seat. 12 on the shot clock for the Rush. Burke again finds Cochrane. Kelly Bowen not happy with the call, but that seemed pretty straightforward to me. The hands weren't vertical. Hit the arm clearly. And Cochrane will shoot 2.
And back to the line. The Selkirk number 9, Lucy Cochrane.
Cochrane off to Oregon at the end of the NBL1 season. This is the first. Oh, and the second rattles out. Bowen, or Jenkins, quick hands. Bowen didn't want to take on Shanice with the dribble there. And fair enough too. League leader in steals in NBL1, Shanice Jenkins. Donald drives, finds Cunningham. Hackman closes on her. Oh, Krichke, another offensive rebound for her. A lovely pass. Donald to Bowen. She builds up her rebound stats, misses the first, makes the second.
It's way too much overcorrection, long closeout, switching. Oh, Rush all over the place then.
Oh, looks like a travel on Amor. Floated short. Oh, nobody wants the rebound. Amor eventually awake to it. Pulls up mid-range J. That's long, and Hackman sets up again for Ballarat. No reset shot clock there, interestingly. That was a very, very untidy piece of basketball from both sides. 2 seconds on the shot clock here. Ballarat will need to get it up quickly, obviously. Oh, Hackman, catch and shoot three. That's long as well, almost rattled home. Bowen, nifty handles there. Just the drive on Burke. Lovely pass to Cunningham, who finishes with the baby hook.
And gives Waverley a nice little 7-0 run here.
Gives them back the lead as well, or 36-32 now. A bit of a loopy pass there from Amor. Cochrane inside position, McCritchie. Oh, they've called the contact on the head. Thought she might have got the block from behind there.
There's some great high-low action there. If McCritchie's going to play in front, if they're going to stay in this zone and McCritchie's going to play in front, swing the ball quickly to the high-low. Cochrane found herself quite open and gets the easy foul. Interesting
player, Renee McCritchie. She's we spoke about Carly Ernst being a true stretch five. McCritchie, bit of a small forward type of player build-wise, but averages almost 4 offensive rebounds a game. Gets herself a half block. She plays almost as a undersized 4 for this team.
She's a wonderful rip through and drive there on the opposite side of the rim for a finish. I've really liked her game. She's played really well. Apart from that open layup that she missed early on, she's been fantastic.
Jenkins, that's 3 for her.
Much needed to end it.
Big 3.
Much needed to end that 9-0 run.
She's into double figures, Shanice Jenkins. 11 points, tied for the game's lead with Ernst and Cunningham. No longer as Ernst hits a 3.
That's some wonderful action, offensive action there. Darnold attacks the rim. Ernst gets a down screen from the 4 and finds herself wide open for an easy 3 from the top.
Oh, Amor did well to reel that in. Answers with a 3 of her own. She is talking about Carly Ernst, but Georgia Amor 3 for 3 from deep. She's cooking. Here's Donald. Bit of horn action here. Amor gets her over the screen, but McCritchie cleans up again her own offensive rebound. Threw up a wild one. She had Kelly Bowen wide open for 3. Jenkins, step back. That's off. There sits Bowen. 2-on-2 here. Hackman trailing. Oh, McCritchie and Bowen on the wrong page there. Jenkins closes quickly on Ernst. McCritchie drops the 2. Not a player who takes a lot of long shots. Looks confident enough there, Trav.
Yeah, it was in rhythm. She's playing really well. She's got her head up. Take that shot. Swished it, so it looked good.
Hackman, strong drive. Oh, blows the layup though. Sam Donald pounces. Hackman got the rebound.
I'm not sure what Waverley were doing defensively there. Hackman left an open lane for a layup. The closest player was Cunningham, who was hugging her man here in the deep corner. The only thing that saved him was Hackman was unable to finish a quite simple layup.
They should be disappointed with that. Liv Hackman did all the hard work and bustling drive. Ernst, this time she is down low. But Bygate can't hit the kick out.
Great rebound.
Ball falls to Jenkins.
Who goes wide.
Amor catch and shoot.
Another three-pointer.
Why not? She misses this one. Hackman saves it to Claire Blower. Well done, Olivia Hackman. And Joy Burke spent it before she had it. Disappointing turnover. You see Naiduth Lock into the game for her first minutes. Carly Ernst have to give that hot hand a rest. Cunningham against Hackman. Oh, lovely spin move. Can't finish, but gets her own rebound, and eventually Claire Blower knocks it away.
They should be disappointed with that. It was a really nice move.
Lovely footwork.
Yeah, wonderful footwork. She's disappointed she didn't make that. She should have made that.
Laura Taylor back into the game for the first time this quarter. Extended break for Ballarat starting three. Well, Cunningham out of bounds there. She knew it too, looked down before the ref even blew the whistle. So we're inside a minute to go in the first half here at the Ballarat Minor Dome. The Falcons leading the rush 43-39. Hackman catch and shoot three. Oh, rattles out. Laura Taylor.
That was halfway down.
Yeah.
How did that come out?
And Taylor almost had the rebound too before Cunningham took it away. Good defense from Amor. And now they've got that switch. Oh, Shanice Jenkins, as she does, reads the play before it happens. Comes up with the steal. 23 to go. 19 on the shot clock.
All the time and space in the world goes to Hackman.
15 seconds.
10 seconds on the shot clock.
Down to 6 on the shot clock though. Here's Jenkins against Sam Donald. Lulls her to sleep. Throws up the little floater off the glass. It's a great finish from Jenkins. And Cunningham to finish the half. Ooh, no, the ref called no basket. Wouldn't have counted. And we are through two quarters here between the Ballarat Rush and the Waverley Falcons. That's the visiting Falcons leading by 2, 43 to 41. Big halves from Shanice Jenkins for the home side. 13 points, 7 assists, 5 boards, 2 steals. It's a strong stat line for a full game. And for Waverley, Ellie Ernst bombing away from the outside. 14 points for her, along with 6 assists from the centre. Tegan Cunningham came alive, ate up the Ballarat guards and down low in that second quarter for 11 points. Trav, what are your thoughts so far?
It's been interesting. Both teams are playing really poor defense. And whilst there's only a 41-43 game at half time, it's the offense has not been able to handle that, not been able to put the points on the board to go with that poor defense. I'm going to be confident that both coaches are going to have a serious message on the way they play defense in the second half. Because if the team that actually plays some good defense will be the team that wins this game quite comfortably, I can.
Coach Hayes will be disappointed for the Rush. His team in the last 3 weeks have held their opponents to 71 points a game. So to give up 43 and a half, it's a dramatic drop in defensive form. And
27 in that quarter too, Jared.
Yeah, it's something that I'm sure he'll address. But we are at the half while Coach Hayes addresses his troops. Travis and I will take a quick break and we'll be back in around 5. Welcome back to the Ballarat Minor Dome here for our NBL1 women's match between the Ballarat Rush and the Waverley Falcons. The Falcons have a half-time lead, Travis Hewish, 43-41.
Yeah, yep. As we said before, just as we took at the start of the break, it's been a poor defensive showing. No, I'm looking forward to seeing the adjustments and the way they come out. Be very surprised if both teams come out in a zone. I don't think the zones work so far for either team.
No, it was interesting. Both teams playing one-on-one defence at the start of the first quarter from the tip, and the three-point shooting was all over the shop. As soon as both teams went into a zone, first Amor for Ballarat and then Ernst for Waverley got the ball rolling, and then everybody started hitting threes.
Yeah, exactly right. And that improved, but Waverley are leading that with 5 for 10, 50%. And Ballarat put up 15 at 5 for 15 at 33%. But, I mean, the key stat and the reason why I'm saying this is defence has been so bad at both ends, but the Rush have allowed 12 offensive boards. And from that, the Waverley have scored 10 extra points from that, just from that solely. So I don't foresee that they're going to play much zone in the second half. They might just do it to change things up, just to keep them on the toes and have a change of game plan and constantly making the offensive player think, but I don't reckon it'll continue.
Now, it's fair to say it hasn't worked for either side, really. Oh, as we see Taylor wide open for the layup.
And one to start to kick off the second half with number 2, Taylor.
Renee McChesky somehow lost her feet in there. I didn't quite see how she lost her feet. I just saw her on her backside. As Ernst shoots over the smaller Jenkins. That's long. And Burke cleans up. There's Laura Taylor. Jenkins drives left, pull up. That's long. Sam Donald.
As I thought, both teams have come out in a man.
Kritsky finds Donald. She's not really going to take that shot. Bowen does. Rattles it home.
She hasn't wanted to shoot the ball all night, and then she just comes out and takes that contested three.
That's a lovely pass to Cochrane from Laura Taylor. But lost her feet. Here she is with the ball again now. It's 5 to go on the shot clock here. Jenkins finds Cochrane. That's long though. But Olivia Hackman chases down into the corner. Strong drive. Draws the two. I think it's against Cunningham. No. It's against McCritsky for the arm. Cunningham inside the charge circle there, Trevor. I thought she might have been called for the body. As Olivia Hackman heads to the line, only shooting 65% from the three-point line this season, as she misses the first there. All round, quite a good shot. It still surprises me that she shoots as poorly. She does from the line. She's none for 2 there. As Kelly Bowen claims the rebound. 3-point lead to the Falcons. Cunningham Burke tied on it. Oh! Bowen just completely lost her footing. Oh, great pass. Burke in excellent position. Had no choice but to score there.
Yeah, not much Cunningham can do there. It was a really good rim run by Burke with a good seal, and caught Cunningham on her back and made a nice finish.
9th assist on the night for Shanice Jenkins. There we go. We see Burke closing up far earlier on Ernst. And Bowen unable to hit from the elbow. Again, we see Burke, good position, but can't handle the pass. And Bowen comes away with the steal. Kritsky down low, turns Hackman, drives through Cochrane. Oh, the ball just doesn't drop.
Disappointed she'd missed that. That was a really nice spin move there for a finish.
And a patient move as well. Didn't
Pass
rush
fake
it.
outside, and that drew Hackman to step out a little bit. Just not even step, she just sort of changed her body weight, and she had a good finish around. It was a really nice move.
Yeah, took Cochrane out of the play, took the shot blocker away. It's the first. 45-47. Around 2.5 into the third quarter. Makritsky 2 for 2.
Really liked her game. She's been fantastic.
Yeah, and an effort player. Reminds me a little bit of Cassie Mahalko for Ringwood. Just a smaller player who plays a lot bigger than her size. A pure effort player.
Yeah, she's not small though. Like
No,
in
but plays
context
bigger
of the
than
game.
what she is though. Taylor, catch and shoot. That's short.
Good defensive change up there by Waverley, though. They went into that little 1-2-2 half-court trap. That's really forced Rush to take 2 ill-advised shots. And I wouldn't be pleased with that 3 by Taylor from Coach Hayes.
Foul assessed to Lucy Cochrane. Her first. Here's Donald, gets the matchup. Oh, Burks didn't have to stay with it. Oh,
that's the second time she's done that. Straight over the top. Used the rim as a blocker to get Cochrane off her back.
Third attempt at it too, and Cunningham takes that steal. Burke complaining she was held on the pass over the top. Donald shoots. Maybe that's why she doesn't shoot too often.
I thought that was a pass. Ernst was wide open there. She just didn't grab it.
Alley-oop. Go up and get it. A little over 6 to go here in quarter number 3. 45-50, Waverley's way. Jenkins finds Burke outside. She can't hit, but Jenkins. Another rebound for her. Oh, that's excellent defense. That's outstanding defense from Sam Donald. Picks up the charge from Olivia Hackman.
Yeah, Hackman never really looked like she was going to stop on a dime or cross over there. She really just wanted to just body her through. And
Hackman has that tendency to look right before anything else. Doesn't tend to jab step and go the other way. And so, oh, that's a poor turnover from Waverley. Bowen hadn't gotten back in court for the return pass from Donald. That is the cheapest of cheap turnovers. Jenkins finds Burke. Doesn't drive on Ernst. Oh, it's a poor pass from Burke, and it's picked off by Makritsky, who cops a forearm to the head on the way back for her trouble. And Bowen drives, finds Cunningham. Makritsky against Taylor. Oh, double dribble there.
oh, she made another nice move. She just might not be comfortable finishing off the left there, but she had a nice little left-handed layup there.
She seemed to be in two minds. Had the left if she wanted it, but changed her mind at the last minute and coughed up the ball. Solid defense from Taylor. Here's Jenkins. Launches the 3. That's long. And Ernst stretches those long arms out and picks up another rebound. And now she'll shoot another 3. Bang! Carly Ernst. Absolutely unstoppable tonight. 17 points for her, 7 assists. Picked up 4 rebounds, 3 steals as well. Stuffing the stat sheet.
Yeah, she's 5 for 8 from the 3-point line, Jared. That's unbelievable shooting.
8-point lead here as Ballarat look to get something happening. Jenkins, oh, good strip. Good strip as she found Burke.
I don't agree that there was a foul there. Burke shouldn't have brought the ball down, even against Cunningham, who's a big girl herself. You bring the ball down to where the midgets are going to go, and you're asking for the ball to be stripped. It's simple as that. Play it nice and high. That's where the pass came to her too. I mean, it came to her above her head. She wanted to bring it down. She really just needed to keep it nice and high. Good lesson there to any big person playing hoops, to keep the ball above your head when you're catching the ball around the rim off a cut.
So Coach Hayes calls a timeout for the Ballarat Rush. They trail by 8, 53-45.
Yeah, Waverley are on a 7-0 run, Jared. Much needed timeout again just to stem that tide.
Shanice Jenkins, as she seems to each and every week, getting it done for the Rush. 13 points, 9 assists, 6 boards, 3 steals. Dare I say it, triple-double watch. But there's been a lot of good performances for Waverley. It's been fairly even across the board between their better players. Makrutsky, Ernst, Cunningham. Even Kelly Bowen has had a quiet night offensively, 5 points, but 7 boards, a couple of assists and a steal for her. She's put herself about as well. So we're back underway, around halfway through quarter number 3. It's Georgia Raymore into the game for Laura Taylor for Ballarat.
Oh, that's good.
Cunningham. That's a lovely play.
That's good. Good action straight out of the timeout. Run that play to a tee.
And the floater for Cunningham stretches that lead to double figures, biggest lead of the ball game.
Very simple play though. It's just a bit of Spurs flow offense. It was just the back cut into a dribble handoff, and Cunningham's coming like she has all night off a curl or coming around. That one off the curl, off the dribble handoff is a fantastic play.
Jenkins drives middle. Tripped as she went through. Threw the ball up wildly, but the referees say that's baseline ball.
She was a little out of control there. She's lucky. I think she's lucky she got that foul. She was playing more out of control than anything.
Looked like a discussion between the referees there. One wanted to give her the 2 shots, but overruled. Ballarat just get the ball in.
No, they've got a mismatch here and they haven't been able to manage it.
Yeah. Oh, the Waverley have switched back now. Amor, Makrutsky did just enough to stay with that. She won't get the steal, Renee Makrutsky, but that's definitely her play.
It was pretty well defended by Waverley. I mean, they switched pretty hard there, and Donald ended up on Burke, who then switched again, and she ended up on Cochrane. This Ballarat just too slow to make the awareness.
Here we see Makrutsky down low against Jenkins, but bobbled the ball. They'll try and reset that post play.
She's got a post game, not a left-handed post game. It looks like.
Bowen.
She really wanted to take that to her right.
She did.
Jenkins gave her the left.
Here's Burke.
Drop step.
Can't hit the lefty hook herself. Cochrane kept it alive, but Ernst chases it down. Ernst too quick. Combination of Jenkins and Cochrane forced Bowen to tip that ball out of bounds. See Jess Bygate checking back in for Renee Makrutsky, who's earned herself a rest. Excellent third quarter for her. So no score for the last close enough to a minute and a half now, Trav. The offenses have gone through a little bit of a lull as Hackman pulls up mid-range. Doesn't get the shooter's roll, but Joy Burke stays with it and finishes.
And ends that 9-0 run that Waverley are on. Even though it went for a good minute and a half, as you said, with no points on the board, they were still on a 9-0 run.
It's 12 now for the Ballarat skipper on the night. Well, Bowen looks to find Bygate, who had good position on Burke.
She did, but if she had looked the other way, she had Ernst and Jenkins defending each other. She's too busy trying to run the offense and not playing basketball. She's got to play some basketball sometimes. Have a look.
They're blower into the game for Joy Burke now for Ballarat. Jenkins wide open for 3 and knocks it down. A couple of big buckets for Ballarat here, bring it back to 5 points, 50-55. Waverley still lead.
There's that action again.
One-handed finish from Cunningham. Looked like she was held on the left, but referee may have been unsighted. Amor too quick. Donald knocks the pass down, but Hackman chases it down. She rattles home a 3. An 8-0 run by Ballarat to answer.
And forces Waverley into a timeout that I bet you the coach didn't really want to call.
No, it would have felt reasonably under control. No choice but to call that. It's back to a 2-point game, 53-55. The tick over 2 minutes remaining here in quarter number 3.
I'm interested to see if Hayes comes out here and just talks about that little flow action offense that Waverley have been able to play with that dribble handoff, coming with Cunningham coming from the deep corner, and how they're going to defend that, because at the moment Cunningham's had her way. I felt she got fouled on that layup. I reckon she's a bit stiff there, and she had a rightful way to whinge about that.
Yeah, I agree. The baseline ref would have been unsighted by the defender, but that's why you have 3 officials, Trav. Somebody you would hope would see that, because it was a fairly clear hold from where we are up in the cheap seats. But Cunningham, she's a tough matchup. As we mentioned before, WAFL footballer, so as much as she's tall, lean and athletic, got that basketball athleticism, she's also got the strength of a league footballer as well. Makes her a difficult matchup just physically, let alone any sort of basketball talent.
Yeah, she's got legit skills and should be playing WNBL, so that's the skill level that she's got. I mean, it's good that she's playing AFL. I love the women's AFL competition, but she has that skill level, so to come down to this level and come and play here in her off-season of football.
Oh, airball 3 from Locke there.
I find that interesting. I mean, a lot of the Waverley players there had a go at Locke for doing that, and the coach was very disappointed, but she was open, and they called that play. She was the one coming from the low through that double screen, and she was open.
And there wasn't a lot of action developing off the ball from my eyes.
Yeah, well in her rights to shoot that.
Jenkins, she shoots and hits. 2 in a row from the same spot.
11-0 run now. 11-0 run, and it puts them in front for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, 56-55. A minute and a half to go in quarter number 3. Donald rolls off a series of screens. Oh, Cunningham followed it. Beats Cochrane's closeout. Can't hit that shot. Foul call on Carly Ernst there. Not sure there was too much in that one. Claire Blower will take it. Ballarat will take it. And the Rush have the lead. A minute 10 to go in the 3rd period. Here's Jenkins, 16 and 9 for her so far. Quick close by Locke on Hackman. Oh, big screen from Blower, and it's called offensive. Looked like a very solid screen to me. I didn't see her feet move. We're on the wrong angle to see whether Claire Blower threw her body into it a bit, but looked like a good screen.
Yeah, sorry, Jared, I actually wasn't watching that. I was watching the next extended play there. So I didn't actually see it, mate. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. As it is, Claire Blower assessed with the foul. And we're inside a minute to go here in the 3rd quarter. Oh, Shanice Jenkins. The Thief does it again. 4th steal for her on the night. Oh. Ewan falls over up from the screen, but there's Ernst. Bang! Carly Ernst.
Huge three. Stem the tide. That's a big bucket. That's a manageable 3 there. That stops the whole momentum.
Game shot and shot clock effectively in sync here. Jenkins picks up her dribble. 5 to go on the shot clock. Oh, a little free throw line floater from Mainland. That is absolutely gorgeous. And Lisa Ewan decides not to throw up the Hail Mary, runs out the clock, and through 3, Georgia Amor's floater is what separates these two sides, Travis. 60-58, the Rush lead.
Yeah, it's a tale of 2 halves of 1 quarter. Really?
As is traditional at 3-quarter time.
It's, yeah, they went up by 10. The Waverley were up by 10 at one stage. And now they find themselves down by 2 on the back of that 13-0 run that Ballarat had when they banged those couple of threes from Jenkins and Hackman. I'm surprised to see Waverley go into that zone, and although Blower had that foul from the illegal screen up the top here. Ballarat have had their way in the zone, and so I'm very surprised. We called it at halftime and said that I don't think either team should be playing a zone. It's not working. Defense is going to be the issue. The team that steps up and plays defense is going to be the team that gets.
An interesting stat to three-quarter time. You mentioned it through the halftime break, Trav. Waverley, an outstanding offensive rebounding unit, 12 to half-time at three-quarter time. 12 offensive rebounds. Ballarat have tightened up.
Yeah, it was definitely something that really needed to be stemmed, and it seems like the Rush have been able to do that. In saying that, it's been their defense have stepped up a little, has stepped up by the Rush, and they've forced a lot of outside shots. And on the back of the only reason why they've been able to put the ball in the hole really is on the back of Cunningham with a couple of nice mid-range Jays, and Ernst hits those 3 threes in that quarter. I mean, she's been huge.
And Carly Ernst up to 20 points, 7 boards, 5 assists, 3 steals. That's a hell of a line to get from your sharpshooting centre. Shanice Jenkins leading the way for the Rush, 21 points to this point of the game with 9 assists, 6 boards, 4 steals. So we're about to get back underway here. Tegan Cunningham for the Falcons, inbounds to Ewan, and we're off in quarter number 4. Oh, here we go again. Bang! 6 3-pointers for Carly Ernst. This has been some sort of show.
It is, and she's putting on a shooting awareness, but that's just terrible defense by Cochrane. You cannot. She's hit 6 threes in the game.
Well,
what are you doing? What are you doing stepping a metre away from her?
And Cunningham with the quick hands there. Bowen reels that in one-handed. Nice catch and shoot from Jess Bygate in the mid-range. Excellent start for Waverley. Quick 5 points within 40 seconds to start the last quarter.
Interested to see that they're in a zone again. Continue that zone.
Amor, oh, lovely drive. Cochrane can't finish. And then Bygate blocks the follow-up. Cochrane will be really disappointed with that. Georgia Amor put it on a plate for her. Oh, and here we go again. Oh, maybe that's the recipe to stopping her. Leave her open. As Jenkins drives through everyone. Draws the foul, and she'll shoot 2.
She was too open. The air was too hard then.
Back hold on Waverley. Straight forward, Lisa Ewan. And check it back.
And Ewan assessed the foul. Cochrane, after that blown layup and a couple of blown defensive assignments, frankly, she'll head to the pine. Joy Burke back in. Shanice Jenkins, practically automatic from the line this season. I might shut up for a while now, Trav.
Yeah, just don't speak, mate. Just don't speak.
It's only the 2nd miss from the free throw line for Shanice Jenkins. And that's the 3rd. Right, I'm off. Have a good call, Trav.
Catch you later.
See you, mate.
I reckon Shanice Jenkins is waving, and her family are waving you goodbye too.
Yeah, that's it. For any of the Jenkins clan are listening from over in the States, I apologise profusely. As we see Jess Bygate called with the moving screen there.
Yeah, she just wasn't patient enough. She knew Ernst was coming through, but she tried to roll off that too quickly. It's got to be patient.
Here's Amor. Jenkins, not a lot of options. Amor cuts. Wow, Georgia Amor. She is a little highlight reel of a player, isn't she, Trav?
Who are you talking about?
Georgia Amor. Well, both really, but
mate, I'm going to give.
Amor
I'm
in this
all
occasion.
about that pass. That's a wonderful
it's a great
vision.
look.
That's wonderful vision.
Bowen. Oh, off the glass. Little one-footed runner. Great play from Kelly Bowen. The lead, 3 points. Waverley's way, 65-62. But can't quite step through. Ernst stays with it and blocks Jenkins' shot. Amor catch and shoot 3. Very short. Ball falls into Cunningham's hands. Georgia Raymore thought she did enough to deflect that pass, but followed through and gets called for the body foul.
Yeah, it was the follow through. Just as well they got their hands on that though, because they were off the races there. There was an open layup coming through and Cunningham had seen it. She was disappointed she missed that pass.
Donald's guarded by Amor.
Back into this 1-4 high, half kind of horns offense.
Oh, wide open. Donald almost looked like she was going to fall over before she shot that shot. But Bowen, the rebound, gets fouled on the way back up. Olivia Hackman with the hack. And Bowen steps to the line.
Number 9, Kelly Bowen.
Short on the first. Four of 6 so far as a team, Waverley. 5 of 7 now. Against a very disappointing 4 of 12 for the rush. That's the lead right there, effectively.
Yeah, good call.
Cunningham doesn't get called there. Referee lets it go. Good decision by the officials as Shanice Jenkins drops the 3, brings the lead back down to 1. 66-65. Waverley Falcons out in front. Joyberg stepping really high now. Great hands, Jenkins knocked that away from Bowen. And Joyberg kept her hands in there.
I reckon Jenkins will get that deflection and the steal, and she's single-handedly keeping Ballarat in this game.
Well, she throws it away there. Jenkins absolutely convinced that that ball was deflected out. The officials see it differently. Makutsky back in for Jess Bygate.
Yeah, she'd be well rested. She's been off for a long time.
Yeah, I think it's about 3 minutes to go in that third quarter she came out. Cunningham backs down the smaller Amor. Blower stepped up to create the pass, and Jenkins eventually with the steal. Finds Amor. Had the chance to shoot the J. Gave it up and a tough runner falls out. That's six steals now for Shanice Jenkins. 10 assists, 24 points as Makritsky lays the ball in.
Oh, I'm not sure what
Well, mathematical chances to make the 8 in Ballarat's case, but a much more realistic chance for Waverley. Still sitting on the outside, 10th place, 7 and 9, but having played a couple of games less than most of the teams around them, they've got the chance to, if they pick up a win here, to throw themselves right back into the mix. So we see the teams step back out into the floor. And it's Donald to get us underway.
And then the rush come out in a zone. Interesting to see.
Taylor back into the game for Ballarat as well. Lovely little turnaround inside there from Bowen.
I'm just not sold on either team playing a zone. It's a terrible defense. Zone has a time and a place at this level, but tonight it's just not been good for either of them.
Hackman. Oh, this time she goes left, pulls up mid-range. That's money for Olivia Hackman. She will do that all day, every day, that mid-range pull-up.
Yeah, nice move by Hackman.
She's into double figures now, 10 points. Donald, great pass. And there we see it again. Renee McCritsky just absolutely eating up Jenkins and Amor whenever she's matched up on them, taking them down low. It's another 2 from McCritsky.
Well, that one ended up out of a switch. So originally Taylor was defending her and they switched. Jenkins switched up on her, and then as soon as she saw that, she just made a dive to the rim.
So McCritsky with the quick hands again there, almost took it away from Blower. Down to 5 in the shot clock. Jenkins, step back for 2. Joy Burke, had the ball and lost it. It's the one part of Joy Burke's game that always frustrates me. He gets herself in great positions, but the hands aren't always clean. 72-70, around 4 minutes to go. Waverley with the lead. Donald finds McCritsky, elbow J. It's short. And Taylor with the rebound. Joy Burke, outstanding position down low. Bit of a rush pass from Jenkins. Cunningham, it's a cheapie. That's a cheap foul there from Tegan Cunningham.
Yeah, good call, good call. She was attempting to try and get that strip a few times there, and Jenkins just eventually just sold it a little bit further to get that foul.
Lower back to the bench. Lucy Cochran back in for Ballarat. Oh, Ballarat have thrown it away here. Hackman and Jenkins not quite singing from the same hymn book.
You'd be disappointed there. It was a really important bucket to get them.
Waverley, 2-point lead here. 3:42 to go. Owen, strong drive left. It eventually drops. Sat on the rim for an age, but she'll take the 2 and she'll get a bonus.
And it was a really nice drawn-up play there. Donald drives hard, hands it off to Bowen. Bowen ends up with a double screen from Ernst and Machowski. Cunningham cuts under the rim to open up the lane, and because you have to follow her because she's so good, Bowen has a free layup to the lane. It was a really nice drawn-up play.
Yeah, cleared the side of the floor beautifully then. You see Cunningham, a little bit of pressure on Jenkins to take the ball away from her. Tegan Cunningham, a long, strong athlete. She'll be able to stick with Jenkins, but can't get over the screen there, and Jenkins misses the mid-range J.
Yeah, unfortunately, Jenkins has gone a little bit cold the last couple of minutes, and because no one else has been able to score, they've sort of struggled.
Just 2 boards off a triple-double for Shanice Jenkins.
Cunningham's got that matchup again.
Oh, there we go, a 7th steal. Oh, bit of razzle-dazzle from Jenkins, but Joy Burke.
A bit of razzle-dazzle, but Joy Burke needs to get to the rim. She was too far away, and you've got to know Jenkins is going to draw the guy. They have to own her layup, so that's what's happened. Cunningham's come out here and defended that layup really, really well. Burke needed to get to the spot.
Absolutely. She's just slowed up a little bit there, perhaps anticipating the shot going up and giving herself best chance of the rebound, but as you said, Trav, she had a layup herself. The pass was there.
Yeah, some stats for the game, Jared. As the scoreboard suggests, 70-75. It's quite an even game. 45% for Ballarat, 46% from field for Waverley. Both teams haven't been able to get to the line tonight, which shows that it's been a lot of perimeter outside game today, or mid-ranges. 4 for 12 for Ballarat at 33%. And Waverley is 75% at 6 for 8. They've only still been able to only get 1 offensive board. It's been fantastic effort by the Ballarat Rush to curb those offensive boards. And the rebound counts 34-39 Waverley's way. Both teams here have 21 assists and Waverley has 24. And both teams hitting it at 16 turnovers, which has been sort of the story of the second half. I mean, both at half time, Ballarat only had 5, Waverley only had 6, and they've both got 16. So
some extended pressure,
and there's
and
another
it works. Taylor blows the layup, but Hackman cleans up. And Ballarat will look to set something out. Burke inside.
Nice seal by Burke.
Misses the left-hand layup. Jenkins found her well.
Oh, we've said it many times. It's the one area of Burke's game that lets her down is her ability to finish around the rim. She's such a good player and she offers so much.
And she get the position she gets, she's so strong through the hips. She just creates space down low for herself. Cunningham, pull up, that rattles out. Ball bobbles around and eventually Bowen picks it up. And 9th rebound for Kelly Bowen. Oh, smart play from Cunningham.
That extra pass is
Just
fantastic.
delayed it for a half second to draw the defense.
I love the saying, give up a good shot for great shots.
Yep.
She gave up a good shot. Cunningham could have shot that note comfortably and she gave it up for a great shot.
7-point lead now to Waverley. Inside 2 minutes to go. Jenkins has got Taylor wide. Down to 4 on the shot clock. That's 2 from Hackman. Oh, well done. Renee McCritsky to gather in that rebound. McDonald takes the pick, finds McCritsky, wide open. We've got a sub here for Ballarat. Taylor stepping out for Amor, defense for offense. Another well-drawn up play by Waverley.
Yeah, but it's easy to draw up plays when the defense has just got no idea what's going on at the moment. I mean, Ballarat, unfortunately, which is, and we don't say this, and I don't think we've ever said this before, but they've let themselves down defensively tonight. For a team that prides themselves defensively, they've let themselves down.
Yeah, there's been too many occasions where Falcons have had just the run of the key. As Cochrane found Jenkins. Again, that pet high-low action of Ballarat's. Shanice Jenkins will go to the line for 2. Terrible free throw shooter, Shanice Jenkins. I'd expected to miss both of these, Trav.
Oh, she's missed 3 tonight. Unbelievably but poor.
All right, well, if I'm going home and you're going home, who's going to call the game? We apologise, Shanice. We really do.
Mate, she's an amazing shooter, and an now missed 4 tonight. Unbelievable.
We're back on track now. Just so people who aren't aware know what we're talking about, Shanice Jenkins had missed 1 free throw from over 50 that she's taken coming into tonight's game. Donald draws the foul out of Jenkins. Minute 10 to go. 8-point lead.
Jenkins trying to make a play there and add to her 7 steals, and she's fully in her right to do that. Donald's hasn't shown great high ball handling skills. She's been a good leader, but under pressure she hasn't shown great tonight.
Well, missed there from Donald. As Jenkins went under the screen, but Tegan Cunningham. Powerful.
Surely you're setting some sort of action screen for Ernst to get open.
Draws the foul after steal number 8.
I'm surprised with that action on offense there. That was a pretty poor offense off that offensive board by Cunningham. It was really stagnant and play through Donald's ball handling. You'd be finding a way to get Ernst the ball off some sort of screen action.
So Sam Donald with the foul. She's got 9 assists tonight. As you said, she's ran the offense really well. Very solid old-fashioned point guard. Sets up her teammates where they need to be set up, but doesn't look to score.
Really good. She's been really good.
As Jenkins drops the free throw. .29 for Shanice Jenkins. 30 points now. 10 assists, 8 boards, 8 steals. That is one hell of a game. So we're at 45 seconds to go here. Cunningham with Amor right up in a grill. Oh, a little push off there from Cunningham. Everyone from Ballarat was up off the bench for that one. Wasn't too much in it, but the arm did swing.
Yeah, one thing that annoys me, Jared, really annoys me. If it wasn't the last 45 seconds of the game, would that call have been called? 100% he would have called that push off on the armbar. 100% would have. I'd put my house that a referee would call that call at any time during the game if it wasn't for the last minute. Reason, and he doesn't call it, it's because it's the last minute of the game.
Yeah, it's the...
That irks me. That's really, really annoys me.
It's the old soccer thing, isn't it? That there'd be a foul anywhere else in the pitch, but not in the penalty box. Cunningham knocks them both down. It's 15 on the night for Cunningham. 8-point lead here. Jenkins has got to create something. Finds Hackman. That needs to go down, but it's well long. And Ernst with another rebound, and that will just about do it. We're inside 30 seconds now. Ballarat with the trap. Jenkins steal number 9. And she finishes the play. Perhaps we're not done yet, Trav. Shanice Jenkins, 9th steal. 32 points. She'll go to the line for 33. And the opportunity to bring this back to 5. Ballarat not going away.
It's got to be a foul game now. It's got to be a foul game. I was going to say Waverley would be calling a timeout here, I'm sure.
Both teams in the bonus, so every foul will be free throws. There's the timeout. Shanice Jenkins, 1 steal off a triple-double. Steal and 2 boards off a quadruple-double. She has absolutely lit it up. As Ballarat, this quarter, have really closed down Carly Ernst as well. They've stepped high above the 3-point line rather than foot on the line. They've had the feet outside and dared her to shoot from curry range, which she hasn't wanted to.
Be interesting call here. I'd say Coach Hayes would be calling a. You got a foul. It's got to play the foul game now. You've really got to get a steal. If you can't get a quick trap off the first pass here, it must be a foul. I'd be trying to get the ball out of everyone's hands, and if Machekski's on the court, which I think she is, that's the one I'd be trying to foul. Unfortunately, there's too many good free throw shooters on the floor for Waverley other than Machetsky.
Yeah, shooting 53% from the line on the season, but Cunningham up at 86%. Donald shooting 71, Bowen at 83, Ernst at 94%. Yeah, there's definitely one target out there to foul, isn't there?
Yeah, you'd be playing this really hard. The ball's coming to Ernst, I would say. That's where they want to fight for it.
Yep, Burke does well. Eventually it goes there. And back to Donald.
Got a foul. I'm not sure why you're not fouling. You're down by 5. Why are you not fouling?
Yeah, so I'd foul Donald if I could there.
That makes no sense to me.
Tegan Cunningham just hurled it towards the basket. Nothing but net as Hackman can't finish at the other end.
I don't know what I just seen. You're down by 5. You have 22 seconds. Even if the shot clock still left you with 7 seconds, you've got to put 5 points on the board, Jared, with 7 seconds. And in this game, you can't stop the clock with a timeout. So you're going to get to the full. It doesn't make any sense to me.
As Amor can't hit the 3. Yeah, foul Donald if you have to, but it's a moot point now, Trav, because the game is over. And Waverley keep their season alive with a 7-point victory here in Ballarat against the Rush, 76-83, and that will do it for the Rush for season 2019. For mine, I'm not a mathematician, but to me, that puts them completely out of finals contention.
Oh yeah, no way. They were 2 games behind. They only got 1 game to play, so there were no way they can make it. They had to, as we said at the start, as we alluded to at the start of the game, they had to have results go their way and control what they can control and win the next 2 games. They can hold their head up high. They're a very young team with a lot of locals.
Yeah, you look at the age profile here. Shanice Jenkins, 26, Joy Burke, 29. Everybody else under 25. There's a lot of basketball to come from some of these players.
And you got 2 imports in Jenkins and Hackman who are very good players, and I'll be doing everything I can to try and keep Jenkins. She's a legitimate star in this league.
She is a star.
She's a team. Every team in this league would love a point guard like her. And she was fantastic tonight. She had 33 points, 8 rebounds, 10 assists, 9 steals. Unbelievable game by her.
Yeah, it's a fair game when you've got 9 steals, Trav. As we said, league leader in the league in steals, but man, 9 steals, it's nothing safe around her. Georgia Raymore with 13 and Joy Burke with 12 for the Rush. Carly Ernst lit it up from deep with 23 points, 6 3-pointers on the night for the big centre. She picked up 12 boards, 7 assists of her own, close enough to a triple-double for her. And Renee Makritsky, 20 points, almost purely off hustle plays.
She was fantastic. No, not so much hustle play. She had some pretty good, very good
Post-ups were
footwork,
nice.
post-up moves. Are nice.
Yeah. And Tegan Cunningham, just every time she got to switch onto a smaller player, just ate them up. 17 points, 8 boards for her.
Yeah, Tegan Cunningham was huge. But her leadership tonight was fantastic. And the way she comes off screens and sets up offense for Waverley is... you just need a go-to player like that, and it frees up Ernst as well. And every offensive team wants a player like a Cunningham who you can set an offense around. And if that doesn't work, and she doesn't get her pick, and she doesn't get her curl, she doesn't get her one-on-one, there's things that she can set up and play through that.
So that is that for the first leg of our NBL1 doubleheader. The Ballarat Rush going down 76-83 to the Waverley Falcons. We'll be back with the Ballarat Miners against Waverley in around 10 to 15 minutes time. For Travis Hewish, I'm Jared Prosser. We'll be back shortly.